Sneakerheads and basketball enthusiasts alike, this is the only lane, and they're out. The official images are finally out. What is in my pocket? Damn. The official images are finally out for the Greek Freak 2s, or why do I keep saying Greek Freak? For the Nike Zoom Freak 2s. As you guys already know, and we've already discussed in previous video, I'll put the link up top. Those are Giannis Antetokounmpo's second signature shoe. So you've got official images, you've got cushioning, you've got everything is official now. And they actually are due to come out 5 a.m. on the 24th? Is today the 24th? It's 5 a.m. on the 24th, so they come out tomorrow. So as you guys know, when they come out with official images and things like that, they give you a whole blurb on how the shoe was created and like what's the inspiration behind that and all that good stuff. So, I mean, as per usual, he says he plays in Kobe's, so they're kind of loosely based off of Kobe's. In regards to like the low profile and stuff, they didn't really change much of the outsole. What they did remove, which in my opinion is a smart idea, on some of them anyways, is the translucent outsole. Or it's called off all of them.
Tim on wrong.
So it's off all of them as of right now, except that black and white colorway where it does have the translucent, but the other 3 colorways do have a solid rubber outsole. And if you watched my review or anyone else's review, you would know that the translucent just really wasn't sticking on the original. I didn't like it. Ironically, I've been using it outside a lot, and it's been working perfectly. But for indoors, that translucent outsole is terrible. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Translucent outsoles, no matter who does it, no matter what company, is always a hit or miss. You can either get it right, and it's perfect, or you don't get it right, and it's absolutely awful, and it's the worst thing you ever played in. So it's really either really good or really bad. It's usually no middle ground for translucent outsoles. But yeah, that for me was one of the big things, just because traction for me is a huge thing. When I'm making stops and cuts and all that, I want to be able to feel like I have a solid base on me. Even shooting, when I'm shooting, I want to be able to feel like I'm gonna land and not slip and twist my ankle. I feel like they didn't really know what to talk about with these sneakers, because they mentioned the same thing they were mentioning in the last one, which is the Euro step.
Got a chance again, but it's Antetokounmpo.
My goodness, you talk about a fortuitous bounce.
Giannis, it's part of Giannis' signature. When you see Giannis, it's just one of his things. He Euro steps past defenders. He's got long limbs. He's real fast. He's really strong, so he can power through you. And that's another piece that was like another main focus for this sneaker. So what they did to help out with that was they provide a little bit more lockdown in the forefoot area, and for that they brought about the outrigger. So they put an outrigger there. They said it's to fortify highway areas and give them more ground contact, which equals a more stable platform. It's near the outside of the foot. I don't believe that's necessarily for high wear. I think that's to keep him they didn't really explain this very well, so I'm explaining it for them. They did it to keep his foot intact. When you're making a Euro step or any cutting moves like that, your foot is moving a lot laterally instead of linearly. believe that's, yeah. Your foot is moving a lot laterally, and when you're using materials that aren't really firm, and it doesn't look like that's what they're using this time, your foot will move. And I always use the example of Ultra Boost, and ironically I have Ultra Boost on so I can show you. Excuse the dirtiness because yeah, I've destroyed these. But when you're moving laterally in a material like that, you can feel yourself slide off it. So you can see that this whole thing will just come right off there. Because there's nothing in here to really stabilize this. This is just a knit. An Ultra Boost is damn near just completely knit besides the sole. So what they did was they added that in there, and then they added that swoosh there, but the swoosh is actually detached. And then the bottom two, I believe it's the bottom two or the last one. No, the second to last eyelet, the shoelace runs through it, so you can see that that's stitched into the swoosh is stitched into the material, and that'll be able to give it a more tighter feel around the forefoot. So as he's doing those cuts and those moves, his feet will be locked in and compacted, and he won't have the type of issues you would have if you would play basketball in an Ultra Boost. And for anyone who's ever tried and made an attempt to play basketball in the Ultra Boost, it doesn't feel good. It feels like you're gonna rip through the sneakers. So that's what they did for support. They also completely changed up the cushioning. I'm not particularly a big fan of the change, but I think it's, I don't know if he's a big fan of it either, but I think it's, for the public, for like the common person, this is usually the setup that they like, which is forefoot cushioning. Most people prefer having the main cushion in the forefoot than in the heel. What they had in the Greek Freak, why do I say Greek Freak? What they had in the Zoom Freak 1 was a double stacked Zoom in the heel, and I guess just foam in the front, and they reversed it. So they don't have double stacked in the forefoot, but they do have Zoom in the front. I believe it's Zoom. Let me get the exact. It's Zoom Air, Zoom. There's just like 200, 300 different names for it now. It is, yeah, Zoom. They have Air Zoom in the forefoot there, in the forefoot area, instead of in the rear. And then in the rear, what they said is they had a soft cushion. They didn't really give out what it was. I can just assume that it's a foam. Doesn't really tell me what foam, but that is what that is. That's what they changed it to. They said to give him a more springing feeling. I believe that is the difference between Air Zoom and the other Zoom. I don't know why I can never remember the difference in the names, because it's like Air Zoom, Zoom Air, and like Zoom Pods and all types of nonsense. But I believe that that's what the Air Zoom does. The Air Zoom provides a more bouncy feeling, so they want, as he's doing his zero step, because like I said, the shoe is based a lot on that specifically, that it gives him a little bit more of propulsion to move forward through his Euro step to get, I guess, a little further, a little faster. If you think that little bag there is gonna do that for him, then yeah, I guess when you're an elite athlete and you're competing at the highest level, the assumption is that any little advantage will help you. So that's the assumption. We'll see how that performs when he performs in it, and I guess when I perform it. I'm not a 7 foot 250, 60, whatever the hell he is. So I'm sure it's not going to perform the same way. They also have a shank plate in the midfoot, because they have a decoupled outsole. A decoupled outsole just means basically that there's two separate parts, and in the middle there's really nothing. But in the middle they obviously, like I said, put a shank plate. That's for rigidity. It's so that your shoe doesn't bend. I'll show you with the Ultra Boost. The reason for the shank plate is so that it's not able to do this. Like I said, this, even though this does have one, this does have a shank plate, but it's further towards the back. So the thing is, whose foot bends? Like, you can't see anyone's foot in the back like bend. No one, I don't know any athlete who's able to bend that, or anyone whose foot is able to bend like that. I don't know if it's to prevent your foot from breaking. I don't know. I think shank plates are ridiculous. I've never seen someone break their foot playing basketball like that. Never. You'll break your foot more likely getting stepped on than it's snapping in half. I don't know. Even for moving laterally, it just doesn't provide. Like, what is it gonna do? No, it just doesn't make sense. Truthfully, I really don't get it. I would need someone to like sit down and break down what the exact point for me is, because to me it just doesn't make any sense. But it looks like that's pretty much it on the new stuff. So you have four colorways. The first colorway that's supposed to drop is going to be I believe it's Nyjah colorway, and that drops, like I said, tomorrow, the 25th. It is the green and white colorway that we saw from the original video that I had up when the league came out. So it's the Nyjah colorway, and then they have. I'm sorry, I have like 20 screens at once. It's the Nyjah colorway, then you have the black and white colorway. It's found in the study. I don't know, because. So the black and white colorway has like designs on the swoosh. The swoosh, and it says it's supposed to be for his extraordinary movement patterns. I don't know. It's a black and white colorway. Nike always releases a black and white colorway with stickers for sneakers. I don't know why, but that's just part of their thing. So I don't really buy the extraordinary movement patterns or whatever the nonsense. That colorway comes out August 7th. You have the Bamo colorway, which releases September 18th. They don't really go into detail of what that is, but that does look like it has leather on it. That's pretty dope. I don't know. They all have leather in that area, but it does look like it has a nice green leather in the back, if you can see what I'm talking about. I actually really like this colorway as well. And then they have the white cement colorway, which releases October 1st. I think you guys know what I'm going for. I'm going for the first one, 100%. I think it's the best colorway by far. I think the details and the patterns, I believe it represents his, not his home, because I believe he was born in Greece. I'm almost positive he was born in Greece, but his parents are from Nigeria. So that's what that main shoe is supposed to represent. And like I said, it is personally to me just the best colorway by far. And then the Bamo, and then the cement, and then you guys already know how I feel about the black and whites. Black and whites is very plain, very corny. Why get a black and white shoe if you can buy any of the other colorways? But that's pretty much it. I do 100% expect to be able to get them tomorrow. As you guys know, I don't really miss on sneakers, and when it comes to Nike basketball, I don't remember the last pair of sneakers that I actually went after and missed. So I should have them in hand in about a week. There's no real reason for me to do like 2-day shipping, 1-day shipping, because nothing's open. They're just gonna sit in my sneaker room until I'm able to actually performance test stuff. So it is what it is right now. I'll see them in a week. You guys will see them in a week. And that's pretty much it. If if you guys like what you're watching, do me a favor, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. Once you do that, hit the bell so you can see when I put out a new video. I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent. There was a guy a couple, I'd say like 5 or 6 videos back, and he told me if I was more consistent, I'd blow up. I don't think that's the case, but I did agree with him that I do need to be more consistent. So I'm trying. I'm out here trying to get more and different types of content. I've got Supreme drops and random sneakers and basketball videos with my cousin. I plan on getting a new camera so we can actually go to courts and film us playing basketball, but we'll see how all that goes. There's more coming. There's always more coming. But that's it. This is the only lane, and I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one.